All right, shalom everybody, and peace of the Lord to all of you. Today we will continue what I wanted to talk about yesterday, but we did not have the time. The Muslims, when they try to duct tape the stupidity of Muhammad, we know that the Quran is full of, legends, fairy tale stories, stupid stories. And then the Muslims, they take advantage of you because you don't know Arabic. So today I'm going to show you how and what is the easiest way to get them busted from their own words. So this is a guy, his name is Muhammad. He claimed that he can answer about the stupidity of Muhammad. We will put him into test and see if he can do so. And how the Muslims they try to do that, and what is the method they practice to defend Muhammad's stupidity. Let us hear what this guy is saying and we will go after.
What do you know about Islam?
It contains inconsistencies.
Have you read them yourself?
Yes.
Can you give me an example?
Quran says the sun submerges into a muddy lake. That's how
The
we
second
have
thing,
night and day.
Where
Okay.
does the Quran say the sun submerges into a muddy lake and this is how we have day and night? Go ahead. Let me read it now.
Sure.
Until he reached the sun setting point, which appeared to him to be sitting in a spring of murky water. So where does it say here the sun sits in a pool of muddy water, murky water? And where does it say this is how we have day and night? Elaborate now.
You can interpret this however you like.
Come on, be sincere. How are you claiming I'm interpreting when I didn't say anything? I just read the verse, literally, word for word. That's it.
He just said the verse literally. Let us see another Muhammadan reading the same verse. Did he say he did read the verse literally? And his reading literally, he said until he reached the sun setting point, which appeared to him to be sitting in a spring of murky water. Did he say he did read it literally? I will play for you other Muslim what he say about the same verse. This is other Abdul like him. He tried to debunk and duct tape Muhammad. Go. Tell us what the verse is saying.
If we look at the passages that actually are clear, we find that in reality, Islam is full of miraculous scientific inaccuracies.
As a fellow engineering student, I'm all about science, so Yalla, what you got for me?
Surah 18:84 through 6, we read that apparently the sun sets in a muddy pool that you can travel to yourself if you travel far enough west.
Notice this verse says, وَجَدَهَا تَغْرُبُ, which means he found it setting. In other
So in the other guy appeared to him. This guy, he found it setting. Is it appear to him the same as he found it? So the word appear is not in the Quran. So this guy is corrupting his own book, because when you say it appear is totally different word, have nothing to do with this word. The other Abdul, he is reading the same exact verse, and even he highlighted for you. If you read here, he highlighted for you the sentence وَجَدَهَا تَغْرُبُ. وَجَدَهَا mean he found it. تَغْرُبُ, set. And this is his.
If we look at the passages that If we look at the passages that actually are clear, we find that in reality, Islam is full of miraculous scientific inaccuracies.
As a fellow engineering student, I'm all about science, so Yalla, what you got for me?
Surah 18:84 through 6, we read that apparently the sun sets in a muddy pool that you can travel to yourself if you travel far enough west.
Notice this verse says, وَجَدَهَا تَغْرُبُ, which means he found it setting. In other words, this isn't describing a physical phenomena. This is describing what Dhul Qurnayn was seeing with his own two eyes.
If you don't believe me, read Sunan Abu.
And here, when the Muslim, he tried to say such a stupid thing, how Dhul Qurnayn, which is Alexander the Great, he saw it like this. Like, is Dhul Qurnayn a kid? He is 6 years old. Even when they try to defend, they look so stupid and so dummy. So Allah, he is the one is talking is Allah. It's not even this guy, Dhul Qurnayn. Allah is telling us about this guy. He said, this guy, he keep moving, going until he reached the sitting place of the sun, which is a sitting place of the sun, which is a physical place. If we go and read the Quran, this is the verse. Let us read it together. Enter when he reached the setting of the sun. I'm reading the Muslim translation as it is. He found it sitting in a muddy spring. Now the Muslim, they try to make it something, the ocean. I mean, have you ever heard of a spring is an ocean? The word in Arabic is so clear. And in fact, the word ayn in the Quran appear in many places. Tons of places where the Quran describe the ayn. What is the ayn? You know, what is that? Aynin hamia. And by the way, there's two different reading. Hamia is stinky, muddy, like very stinky mud. Mud, it's a mud. It's not even a water. It's not a water. Now you can say that mud is, you know, a lot of water with dirt, right? Still, it's not a spring of water. All right. Other reading, according to other Muslims, for the same verse, it says hamia. Hamia is not the same as hamia. Hamia is a blazing hot. So depending which Quran we are reading, because there are many versions of the Quran, and the meaning will change between hamia and hamia. However, both of them describing something obviously physical. And you know, if we want to go and see the word ayn, we have tons of verses in the Quran speaking about the word ayn. So as an example, even the Quran, you know, by using the word ayn, which means an eye of a spring, it have to be small. It cannot be something massive. So here the stupid Muhammad, he thinks the sun is small because it looks small. It's far away from us. What we see little ball. You know, we don't see the real size of the sun by our own eyes. But if we go in the Quran, we will find tons of verses speaking about the word ayn. Let us give you an example. All those verses here, chapter 34, verse number 12. And we made the fount, of Milton brass. So this is a fount of spring, you know, but this is spring doesn't bring water, it brings certain kind of, you know, minerals. Allah gave Sulaiman a gift. This is other fiction stories in chapter 34. So Allah, he made fountains of springs of such a metal for Sulaiman. So they can build for him and generate for him. We go to different verse. The ones who will go to hell, Allah will water them from the boiling fountain. This is the word ayn. So what is a ayn? Ayn is a spring, a fountain where little something coming from the ground. How in the world Zulqarnain he saw it in the ocean according to Muslims? And why the Muslims are lying about it? Simply because this is proving the Quran to be false. We can find, like, even in the heaven, Like Allah, He promised those who will go to hell this kind of fount, which is a boiling water. But those who they are going to go to heaven, Allah will give them a ayn too. It's called Salsabila. Chapter 76:18. So therein will be a spring or a fountain whose name is called Salsabil. What the word here? Aina. Ain. The same word. So what the word Ain? Ain is a fount or a spring of a liquid. It can be a melting liquid. It can be maybe iron. Something coming from the ground as a liquid. As simple as that. Here in this case, Muhammad promising the Muslim men, very funny heaven. Like imagine you will have in your kitchen in the heaven dishes made of silver. Look at this. You will drink in cups made of silver. What does that mean? It's not even healthy. And then you will be given a drink, and this drink is mixed with ginger. And there's a water. I mean, look at the recipe. Look at the open buffet. It's very stupid, very silly. And then around you there will be boys who they are ghulman, which means they are in the horny stage. There's a guy, his name I forgot his name. He's an ex-Muslim, a friendly atheist. Friendly atheist, something like that. He said, Christian Prince, when he say this is about sex, he is lying. In fact, this guy don't speak Arabic. The word ghulman present the stage of horny. From a ghalama, they are in the stage of sex. They are not just boys, they are youth boys. So they are in the stage of hormone. So when somebody say this is not about sex, okay, what they would do? According to Muhammad, I don't want to change the topic, but according to Muhammad, in the heaven, if you wish something is going to be in front of you, you do not need a servant. If you see a bird in the sky, you see it, you wish it, it's going to be cooked, served to you in a blink of an eye. So you will never have wrinkles for your clothes. You will never even change your clothes. You will never take a shower. You never do poo-poo. So there's nothing to wash, there's nothing to clean, there's nothing to take care of. So what the boys for? To go around you. And what those boys are very white. But anyway, this is not our topic. But just I wanted to prove to you what the word Ain mean. And there's many examples in the Quran. In fact, the Quran promised the Muslims that each one of them he have two fount. Muhammad is trying to tempt you. Actually, here we have chapter 2, verse number 60. Speaking about Moses, that Allah, he opened for him when he strike with his rock. He opened 12 spring of water. So is that an ocean? No. The same word appear in the Quran tons of times. Ain. Do you see the word Ain? Abdul, do you see it? So when he struck with his staff the rock, 12 fountain, 12 spring of water came, not 12 ocean. So I'm here trying to confirm to you what the word Ain. Ain can be by your eye. Ain, your eye. Why is it called Ain? Because simply it fount. When you cry, liquid come from your eye. So this is Ain. All right. Whatever the word, this is why it's called Ain. So here it says the word Ain again. Here the same, chapter 7, verse 160. Repeating the story again about Moses. That the 12 fountains came out of the rock for him, etc. In chapter 15, verse number 45, it says, for those who they are believers, there's gardens and uyun, melty spring, melty fount. So they will have melty fountains. So what the word ayn mean? You see all over the Quran, never came as an ocean. Never. And I challenge any Muslim to show me where it came even once as an ocean. You will never find it, because simply you Muslims lie to defend your stupid prophet. All right, chapter 26, verse number 57. So we are going to make for them gardens and fountains. What is the word? Uyun, which mean ayn multiplied. Many of them. All those verses, 26, 134, 26, 147. I mean, look how stupid Muhammad, he keep repeating the same thing. The same thing, you know. Do you see what the word ayn mean? It's all over the Quran. So it's always come as fount or fountains. So if it is ayn, one fount. If it is or I is a spring, or uyun mean many of them. Here it says uyun, so it is many fountains. So we accomplished the understanding for the word ayn. So the word ayn in chapter 18, verse number 86, mean for sure spring of liquid. Spring of liquid. Here, because they use the word hamia, they use the word muddy. Other reading, like Ibn Abbas, he says hamia, which mean blazing hot, which mean did not add the word mud. So there's different in the Quran. There's use different between hamia and hamia. However, when a Muslim, he tried to explain this, and he tried to make it look as he thought. I want to know how in the world anyone he would think that the sun sitting in a muddy spring of water. Is the ocean muddy? The ocean is muddy spring of water? And the Quran itself says clearly, he found nearby people. Nearby what? Where he found the muddy spring. There's a little girl, she don't dare to call me or let me call her. Her name is Fifi. So Fifi was able to solve the problem. So we will go to Fifi and see what Fifi decided to say to us. So Fifi, he said, okay, I'm going to show you a very accurate hadith to get those Christians busted.
But let's, for the sake of the argument, say that this report has nothing to do with perception and that this report should be taken literally. Would that be a problem? I'm sure many of you have heard critics of Islam ask the question, where does the sun go at night? Where does the sun go at night? Now, the reason why this question is so often asked is because of this specific wording of the hadith, in which Abu Nu'aym al-Fadl bin Dukayn reports the hadith while saying, do you know where the sun sets? So it is from this statement that they asked, where does the sun set at night? Now, there is a reason to assume that the word sets was not uttered by his teacher, Al-A'mash. As you can see here, in this other report by Abu Muawiyah, there is nothing about the sun setting. Instead, it simply asks, where does the sun go? Now, is this unscientific? Is the sun stationary? Because according to modern science, the sun is literally moving, and this is in line with hadith. Now, does the hadith say that this is going to occur every night? No. So what exactly is the problem? Well, this...
Guys, he just said no. Did you hear? Look what the hadith is saying. This is his choice, and he agreed that those are authentic. I entered the mosque while Allah Messenger was sitting there. When the sun had set, the Prophet says, O Abu Dhar, do you know where the sun goes? He just said, Fifi, peace be upon her, that is it about every day? Abdul Potato. I mean, do you think people are blind, you idiot? It says when the sun set. So he's describing where the sun is going now. This is about every day. You see how our sister Fifi, hiding behind the curtain, try to fabricate different story of what his prophet say. Let me play it again, so in case you are deaf, you did not hear what he said.
Every night? No. So what exactly is the problem? Well, the sun is moving in its orbit and is heading in the direction of the throne. It's as simple as that.
Read carefully and see how this is stupid idiot trying to duct tape the problem. I said Allah and his apostle knows best. Muslims are kuffar, mushrikeen. They associate the knowledge of their God with the knowledge of Abdul. His name is Muhammad. His penis is not working. So suddenly Allah and his apostle knows best. And they say to you, we are monotheist. Are you monotheist in the knowledge of Allah? Or Muhammad and Allah, they share knowledge together? Allah and his apostle knows best. They don't, like Muhammad, not he know little. No, he knows best too. He said it goes and ask permission to prostrate, and it's allowed. So this is will happen every day. He said it goes and asks for permission to prostrate, and it's allowed. And then one day, it is as if being ordered to return where it's coming from. Let us hear what Fifi want to say about this so we can laugh more. Remember, guys, I schedule for 6 hours before the live. So you have no excuse to say nobody knows I'm coming live, right? Until now we have 725. You guys are not sharing. And those who say number doesn't count, it does count. It doesn't count for me because I don't make money from it. People, they count for numbers because they receive donation, they super chat, commercial, advertising. I don't have those things here, as you see. So numbers for me, I don't even keep my videos. The numbers for me is about how many people coming to learn. And then how many people will teach what they learned. So numbers does count. If we share the truth with one person, it's not the same as sharing it with 10. So if you really care, do something. Obviously, you guys don't care. You see those Muslims, when a Muslim make a video, they gang, they share it everywhere. Allahu Akbar, we busted them, we refuted them. You Christians come here to just for entertainment. You don't care. But I do. So the coward here is trying to duct tape that this has happened every day.
Now, one may ask, why should we trust Abu Muawiyah over Abu Nu'aym? Well, it's simply because Abu Muawiyah is the closest student of ISLAMIC.
Hold on. Why we should trust Abu Muawiyah more than Abu Nu'aym? As if you know them both, huh? They used to be with you in the school. But let me go back a little bit. Just for comedy purpose. So this is Abu Na'im. Look, like Abu Muawiyah is more important than Abu Na'im for Fifi. Abu Muawiyah is more close. Not like Abu Na'im. Abu Na'im is not close. I mean, do you see how they try to duct tape? They are looking for any hole in the wall. Abu Na'im have a problem. Listen, and here there's a different. The hadith is different. Okay, Listen, stupid Fifi. What the difference between two hadith? Can you explain to me again? I'm not smart like you.
Sun go at night? Where does the sun go at night? Now, the reason why this question is so often asked is because of this specific wording of the hadith, in which Abu Nu'aym al-Fadl bin Dukayn reports the hadith while saying, "Do you know where the sun sets?" So it is from this statement that they asked, where does the sun set at night? Now, there is a reason to assume that the word sets was not uttered by his teacher, Al-A'mash. As you can see here, in this other report by Abu Muawiyah, there is nothing about the sun setting. Instead, it simply asks, where does the sun go? Now,
Hold on. So the stupid Fifi, he tried to fix it. He made it more blind. He said he trusts Abu Muawiyah more. But the stupid, when it says goes, that make it even more clear. Do you see how stupid? He said we should trust Abu Muawiyah more than Abu Naim. But both of them, by the way, they are saying where the sun goes. I will show you. I will show you how this donkey do not know even how to read his own Arabic language. If somebody see Fifi, tell him, Imam Murrah say hello to you. So listen. Here it says, do you know where the sun goes? At what time, Muhammad, he said that? At the time of the sunset. So is Muhammad now speaking about the sunset or speaking about the orbit of billions of years? Or this is every day? It's every day. In fact, at the end of the hadith, look, it says, and the sun runs to orbit fixed course for a term decreed, chapter 36, verse number 38. So Muhammad now is explaining the Quran, chapter 36, verse number 38, stating that the sun run into a decree. This is the run of everyday term. In fact, we can open the interpretation of chapter 36, verse number 38. And then what the Abdu will say? It doesn't say that, CP. So, you know, they try to fix it. They make poo-poo more stinky than the previous poo-poo. Literally. So let us go and read together. Let me find some potatoes for you to chew in it. To see if this is about the sun moving every day or not. Let me see if I can open Ibn Kathir in English here. Hold on. And by the way, Ibn Kathir in English have nothing to do with Ibn Kathir in Arabic. As an example, this is Ibn Kathir in English for chapter 18, verse number 86. It says just a few words about. When in Arabic, it's a long, many pages. So they took all the stupid things Ibn Kathir he said, and they kept only what they like to keep. But let us do this. We go to chapter 36. And then we go to verse number 38. All right. So does it speak about everyday movement? Ibn Kathir explained. So he quote for us chapter 7, verse number 54, saying, he bring the night as cover over the day, seeking it rapidly. He continue. And the sign for them is the night. We withdraw therefrom the day. So he's quoting for you, and then he arrived here to the verse which he's going. This is the main purpose of this interpretation. And the sun runs to a fixed course for a term appointed. This is the decree of the Almighty, all-knowing. There are two views of the meaning of this verse. Two views. One on its fixed course for a term appointed. The first view that refers to the fixed course of a location. Fixed course of what? Location. Do you see the word location? All right. This website I cannot even highlight. I don't know why. I'm trying to highlight. When I try to highlight, it's you know, go left or right. Because the throne is the roof of a creation, and it's not a sphere, as many astronomers claim. So the stupid Fifi in his video, he tried to make fun of apostate prophet, saying that apostate prophet thinking that the Quran claiming that the earth is a flat. But as you see, Ibn Kathir confirmed that the earth is flat. Do you see it? I mean, how I can highlight this stupid thing? I'm not sure why this thing is not. Because you can flip pages here. All right. So it is not, you can see my mouse, right? When I move, you can see it. All right. So it is not a sphere as many astronomers claim. Rather, it's a dome supported by legs or pillars carried by the angels. Science, brother. This is pure science, all right? And when it runs in its fourth orbit, the opposite point of its zenith, at midnight, it is in the farther position from the throne. At that point, it prostrates and asks for permission to rise. Ask for what? Permission to rise. Is that everyday movement? Or this is will happen 1 in 10 billion years? This is everyday movement. And then he said, to explain it more, he said he quote the hadith which is quoted by our sister Fifi. So here he says, "O Abu Dhar," by the way, Dhar mean ants. I don't know why they call him ants, but anyway, the father of the ants. Do you know where the sun set? I said, Allah and his messenger knows best. He said, it goes and prostrate beneath the throne. So it is clearly explained, even in Ibn Kathir, by the way, it's just the same as those YouTubers in his time. He was living in Syria between those Christians, which is debunking Islam left and right. They are educated, they are not dummy, and they speak Arabic fluently. So he was trying to debunk by answering, saying this. So he quote Muhammad saying, it goes prostrate beneath Allah's throne. And this is what Allah says, the sun runs to a fixed course for a term. And this is the decree of the Almighty, the all-knowing, the Almighty, all-knowing. The Almighty who cannot have a son unless he have a girlfriend. The Almighty who cannot. He said he can create by saying be, but he never been able to create anything by saying be. He said he created Adam and Jesus by saying be, but then we check, we find he was using his hands, he was using mud. So this is the Almighty and the all-knowing who we think there's a sperm become a piece of meat. And before become a piece of meat, it become a piece of dead blood. And the sun runs to a fixed course of a term. Its fixed course is beneath the throne. So this is the first view. This is the second view now. The second view that is referred to the sun, when the sun appoint time come to the end, which will be one day in the day of resurrection, when its fixed course will be abolished. So the difference between both, by the way, nothing. The only difference between them, how they understand it, that the fixed term is when one day, so the sun keep running every day. And this is why we see the sunset and the sunrise. One view says this is about the day of judgment, and this is the second view. The sun will come from different place, and then they will quote the hadith about Muhammad saying the sun will come from the west. The other view saying when he meant that a degree of a term, this is about everything, every day happening. When it is in the middle of the day, or the middle of the night, sorry, the sun, which we don't see, the sun now, actually, he said in the middle of the day, the sun will be in the farther point from the throne, So both of them, they describe the everyday movement. The only difference between the two of you, one is saying that the course of the term, which means when it's going to stop, is going to keep moving. Is it every day happening, or the stop will happen at the day of judgment? But both of them agree that this is about everyday movement. So this is the second view, says when its fixed course will be abolished. So the sun goes every day in the fixed course from the east to the west. It will come to halt. It will be ruled up. This is the word. Will come to an end. And the end of its appointed time. This is the fixed course of its time according to Qatada. And here he read for you. Its fixed course for a term appointed mean it has appointed time that it will not go beyond that. It was also said its mean it keep moving in the summer orbit or in a certain or for a certain time, and it does not exceed that. Then it move to the winter orbit for a certain time. Remember, this is 800 years after Muhammad. This is when knowledge became, we are talking about in the 12th, 13th centuries. This is not in the time of Muhammad. So here they have better understanding of how the world is functioning. So they are trying to fix it. But look what will happen now. We will find that even there's other Quran. The Quran says, وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لَا مُسْتَقَرَّ لَهَا, which is opposing the previous verse. وَالشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍّ لَهَا. The sun runs to a fixed course. Here, the verse saying the sun runs to no fixed course for it. So there's two opposing Quran. One Quran saying the sun runs to a fixed course. Other Quran saying, this is not in the same book, remember. This is Quran, but two different Quran. One says the sun runs to a fixed course. The other ones that say the sun does not run to a fixed course, which means the Quran is obviously corrupt, because it cannot be both are right. One of them have to be wrong, or maybe both of them are fabrication. But who care? You cannot corrupt what is already corrupt. So the sun runs to a fixed course, meaning it has no destination and it goes not settled in its on one place. Rather, it's keep moving night and day, never slowing down, stopping as this ayah. And here the Quran saying, and the sun and the moon both constantly pursuing their courses. The sun and the moon. Is the moon moving around the earth? Yes. According to the Quran, the sun do the same as the moon. This is everyday movement. Will never slow down or stop until the day of resurrection. So the sun and the moon, both they keep moving, not as our sister Fifi trying to fix it, but he make it more blind. Actually, in fact, look how stupid he is. If I play it more, he would die laughing at the stupidity of this guy.
Sun go. Now, is this unscientific? Is the sun stationary? Because according to modern science, the sun is literally moving, and this is in line with hadith. Now,
see, he just said this is in line with the hadith. No. The hadith explaining where the sun goes at the sunset.
Does the hadith say that this is going to occur every night? No.
Read it. It goes and asks permission, and it will keep doing that every day. It's in the front of you.
So what exactly is the problem? Well, the sun is moving in its orbit and is heading in the direction of the throne. It's as simple as that. Now, one may ask, why should we trust Abu Muawiyah over Abu Nu'aym? Well, it's simply because Abu Muawiyah is the closest student of Al-A'mash. In fact, Abu Nu'aym himself says that Abu Muawiyah was a student of Al-A'mash for 20 years. Abu Nu'aym, on the other hand, was not a close student of Al-A'mash at all.
Just to show you how stupid this Abdul. He said those hadith, two of them, there's a different, and there's a major different. What? One it says the sun goes, one it says the sun set. In fact, it doesn't say that. This guy is a fraud. Let me play it again.
But let's, for the sake of the argument, say that this report has nothing to do with perception and that this report should be taken literally. Would that be a problem? I'm sure many of you have heard critics of Islam ask the question, where does the sun go at night? Where does the sun go at night? Now, the reason why this question is so often asked is because of this specific wording of the hadith, in which Abu Nu'aym al-Fadl bin Dukayn reports the hadith while saying, do you know where the sun sets? So it is from this statement that they ask, where does the sun set at night? Now, there is a reason to assume that the word sets was not uttered by his teacher, Al-A'mash. As you can see...
See, guys, his argument now, here it says where the sun set. The other one, it says where the sun goes. How smart you are. But isn't it him talking about the sun at the time of the sunset, saying where it goes? But not only that, look what he would say. He is saying that here it says goes, there it says set.
Here, in this other report by Abu Muawiyah, there is nothing about the sun setting. Instead, it simply asks, where does the sun go? Now, is this unscientific? Is the sun...
In fact, both of them saying the same. Let me show you how stupid Fifi is. This is the hadith. Read carefully. He says the other hadith, it says the word goes. The first hadith doesn't say the word goes. Guys, do you see the word goes? Do you see it? You see it? It says that. Muhammad, he says it goes. So if the word said does not mean it goes, he will not use it. Are you saying to me that you're a stupid prophet, he did not understand what set mean, so he used the word goes? Same time, the word goes is more stupid, because now you are describing physically, literally, who is going. It is not anything except the sun. Do you know where the sun goes? Or where the sun set? Doesn't make any difference. It's the same. How we know that? The hadith itself, it says it goes. So both they use the word it goes, and there's no difference between them. But this Abdul, he tried to find a difference to say, oh, there's a difference here, so we should not take this one, we take that one. But if we take that one, it's even more ugly, because it's make it so clear that the sun is going. And then he says, we know that the sun keep moving non-stop. But this is not, the sun moving non-stop will not affect our day and night, you idiot. The whole hadith is about what? Is about when the sun is setting, where it goes. In fact, if we go to the hadith, all those are authentic. All right? And read with me carefully, and you will see that Fifi, he did some editing to the hadith. Let me be sure what we are talking about. Guys, read carefully with me. Is that the Muslim translation? Or this is my translation? This is Sunnah.com. He said it goes, I eat travels. So who's going? The sun. Till it prostrate itself underneath the throne and take permission to rise again. So when he spoke about the sun keep moving non-stop, is that the sun sitting, going, and then rising again? Like, do you see how stupid, how dummy the attempt to duct tape the stupidity of Muhammad? So it's clearly that this is about the sunset, the characters of the sun and the moon. The Prophet asked me at the sunset, do you know where the sun goes? At the time of the sunset. I replied, Allah is apostle knows best. He said, it goes, i.e. travel, till it prostrate itself under the throne and it take permission to rise again. How many times the sun rise again and again when the sun going in its Mr. Orbit, Mrs. Fifi? You see how they lie? The whole idea how we can fix it, how we can make it look nicer. Muhammad obviously is a mule, he's a dummy. He's taking a legend about the sun sitting in a muddy, boiling water. So the sun rise again after it receive a permission. Is that about every day? Yes. As you see, it rise again. Again. You see, guys, do you see the word again? Are you with me? Do you see the word again? Does it say again? So the sun goes every night or every billion year and rise again and again. This is every night. The sun goes, the sun rises in the morning. And the sun, what the sun will do? The sun will ask for permission to do what? To rise again. To rise where? On us. So the orbit of the sun, according to Muhammad, the sun moving every day from the east to the west. When this donkey, he said that those who think that Quran teaching the earth is flat, he don't accept that. We showed you Ibn Kathir saying clearly that those who say such a statement are donkeys. Those who say the earth isn't flat, do you see it? Because the throne is the roof of the creation. If the throne is not if the earth is not flat, how the throne will be the roof of the creation? Ibn Kathir explain to you more. The earth must be flat because the roof of the earth is the throne. So the sun goes every day and go to the muddy water, still it is under the throne of Allah because the earth is flat. If we go to different video, this Abdul here, Fifi, the same Fifi, he speak about the flat earth. Hold on. Even he made the here he speak about the flat earth. Hold on.
Likes that the addition of Sufyan is acceptable, but seriously, who cares what Ridwan thinks? Let's assume for a moment that Ridwan's addition is correct. That would mean that the sun, at the end of a long day, soaks into a muddy spring. Now please ignore the fact that our artist placed the murky spring in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Anyways, while the sun is bathing, it finds the throne of God under the water and then starts to prostrate towards it. Now, the issue with this ridiculous understanding is that the throne of Allah is not underwater, but it is above the heavens.
Donkey like is a prophet. The throne of Allah is above the water. Let us prove it. So if the sun goes above, the sun goes in the water, the throne will be in the top of it. Fifi, this is why she will never dare to call me. Isn't it, this is your hadith saying, your prophet saying that Allah's throne is above the water, you donkey? You said to the people that Allah's throne is in heaven. Do you see it? Is that sahih? It is sahih. Allah recorded the fate of all the creatures 50,000 years before he creating the heaven and the earth, and his throne was upon the water. So where is the throne of Allah? Fifi was making comedy of his prophet. He made a cartoon. Did you see it? Laughing at the understanding that the sun goes in the water bathing. So when the sun goes in the water, where is Allah's throne? He said in heaven, not above the water, you idiot. He said that. Listen to it carefully again. This is not a Christian prince making things up.
Mean that the sun, at the end of a long day, soaks into a muddy spring. Now, please ignore the fact that our artist placed the murky spring in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Anyways, while the sun is bathing...
Hold on. We have Zen speaking. If you guys don't give money to Christian prince, he would not put effort lying about Islam. Hey, Abdul, I like what you just said. I don't know, like all those years, I am doing it for free. I even give my books for free. But as long as you are talking about money, is it true that your prophet in the Quran, he said that those who gave him money, Allah will give them heaven? And if they don't give money, Allah will not give them honey? Do you like to call me? As long as you are talking about, not only that, your prophet Muhammad, he will not even speak to Muslims unless they pay him first. Are you there, Izen? Do you dare to call me? You brought this to your prophet. You see, guys, I talk to you for free. Have I ever charged you? Did I even say donate to me when I go live? Until I to the end, from the beginning to the end, do I say donate to me? I never mention it. It's you Muslims. Buy Ali Dawa, he sell halal cat food. Scam. Since when cats, they eat halal food? They eat rat, they eat cockroaches. Muhammad Hijab, he wanna sell what is called? Black seed, necklace seed. I give my books for free. But look, let me show you how your prophet will meet with you. If you give money to Muhammad, Allah, he will give you special place in heaven. If you want to meet with Muhammad, how you can meet with Muhammad? You have to pay him. Let me show you.